Hole in the Soul podcast. Kevin, Oldham, and Jose coming at you live. Before we dive into today's episode, well, we're going to talk about our sponsor. Our sponsor is VUCAFit.com. 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 A resource center where you can get free resources to improve your life. There's a masterclass. There's all sorts of things. So go check it out. VUCAFit.com. March. May. It's May. It's not March, right? It's May. It's the middle of May. It's May. This has been a fast year, Jose.
It was slow at the beginning. I remember people joking around about January. Like, it's been 6 months and we're still in January. And I was actually thinking about that today. I was actually in the car because I was telling my kids, this week has gone slow. It's like only Thursday. What the hell? But I started thinking, the year starts off slow, but all of a sudden it just goes boom, 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 boom. And you're at the end of the year. Life goes fast.
Like, our kids are going to be out of school. Next week's the last week of school for my kids. Like, they're done a week from today. They're done for the summer 1 week from today, which in itself, I'd like to go ahead and recognize as a miracle that we didn't have snow days that pushed the kids to going to school in June, because that's usually what happens.
Interesting.
They usually have to dude, there's been years where we've maxed out. I think it's like 15 snow days, and we've actually hit that some years.
Do you take your kids to school every day?
2. I take my son to school every day now. Our kiddos, it's kind of cool. When we built our house, it's 5 doors down from the elementary school that I've showed you pictures of. So we walked our kids to school. But I take my son every morning. Yeah.
That's nice.
Now he's in middle school.
That's nice.
It is. It's kind of been cool, man. Cause like this year we, 3 of the family members play this game, and it's a pool game. I forget what it's called. Anyway, on our phones. And my son and I play each other, like when we're in line. He likes to get there early and be like the first kid in class and stuff. And we'll play a pool game against each other in the car every morning. It's kind of our ritual.
Wait a minute.
I'll pray over my kids. We'll talk, and then
don't you walk them to school? No, you're in the car.
No, my middle schooler. I've got a middle schooler,
okay.
And so his middle school is a car ride.
The middle school is a car ride, and the other kid is a walk. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Somebody asked.
Yep.
Somebody asked me the other day what my morning routine is like. So I this is honestly my morning routine is I put an alarm at 5 and an alarm at 6.
Sleep.
Bear with me. I put an alarm at 5 and then I have an hour snooze. It's like I snooze it, but I know it's going to sound again at 6. And the only reason I do that is to have that really amazing sensation of that's my 5 o'clock alarm. I can still sleep another hour, and I actually go back to deep sleep for that. That's probably the best hour of sleep that I have. It's beautiful. I even dream and everything. So it goes off at 6. I get up. This is funny because we use splits. The air conditioners here is splits. Each one of my children's room, but we only have one control, and I have that on purpose, so that they won't be running the AC all day whenever they feel like it. So I go in, I turn it off, and I wake them up. Then I go downstairs and I sit on the couch. And somebody asked me, what's your routine? I was like, I sit on the couch. I make my coffee. I sit on the couch with my coffee in front of me, and then I meditate for about...
Can we back up to coffee?
Go ahead.
Can we back up to
Go
coffee?
ahead.
Do you have a routine? Do you have a routine with your coffee, or...
I put hot water in a pot.
Because some people, that's a ritual.
I put hot water in a pot, put it on the stove, and I either pour it over what you call a V60. It's just you put the filter, the coffee, and then you just pour it over.
Yeah.
Or I use
you do a pour over.
Yeah, pour over or a French press, whichever one.
I would say that those are rituals. Yeah. Those are rituals. You want to know how I make coffee?
How?
We were talking about Americans. We were talking about Americans and what we eat and stuff, right? So, no, worse. It shows up packaged to my house because it's cold brew. It's a company called Stoke, S-T-O-K. Now, I've tried to replicate their coffee at home, and I can't replicate it. I can't find any coffee that's as smooth as theirs. So I literally buy it packaged,
You-
which is lame.
Do you know how cold brew is made? How they brew it? That's like a 24-hour brew.
No, I know. I have a cold brew machine at my house, and I've got one here at the office. And Stokes beans are so, like, their coffee's so smooth. I haven't been able to replicate it, so I buy it.
Nice.
No ritual. So anyway, you go back to, and then you meditate.
I sit down on the couch, put my coffee in front of me. It's still hot, so I meditate for about 10, 15 minutes. Then I sit there and drink my coffee. And by the time I'm done with my coffee, I start yelling at my kids so that they can be ready. And I literally start fighting with my kids and threatening them that I'm going to.
You meditate, then fight?
I meditate, and then I fight with my kids. Like, guys, if you're not ready, I'm leaving you. Like, because if my daughter will not move if it's not under pressure. It's like, for some reason, I mean, that could be on us, but she is not going to move. She always has to be under threat or pressure to get going. Like, hands down. My son's always ready. But my daughter, I've left her a couple of times, and she has to call a friend to come pick her up. Because she just
ruthless.
No, because you don't know her. If you knew her, you'd be like,
I don't.
I would leave her too.
Totally.
So that's my morning routine. That I drive them to school. I fight traffic. Not a big. There's some ritual to it, and then there's some VUCA to it. It's like Zen and VUCA in one. That's my morning routine.
My mornings are usually Zen. What's funny is I do a lot of damage to my car at my son's school. So I got some nice wheels on my car, aftermarket wheels. I was pretty proud of. I like them. Bought them about 4 or 5 years ago. First day of school, I messed up one of the wheels, and then I really messed up one of them the other day, like grinding and destroyed it. And so I got a little VUCA with.
How do you mess up wheels in a morning?
The drop off. You curb check.
You what? Curve. Oh, you're hitting the curb.
Curb check. Yeah, curb rash. Yeah, curb.
Okay, I can see that. I'm like, one.
Yeah, pretty. I'm usually not that guy, but I've
paved and smooth. Yeah. I can't imagine you ruining tires.
I did. Not tires, wheels, the metal part.
Okay. So it's just because you're not such a good driver.
Apparently, in the drop-off and pickup lane at my son's school, I suck. Yeah.
Okay. I'm busting your balls.
Yeah. That's okay. They're here to bust. Well, people surely didn't hop on to hear us talk about our morning routines. Where was that coming from?
Of course.
Was that just a random?
Of course,
I'm going to talk about.
There's always insight in everything, even in sharing our morning routines. Somebody might be saying like, "Oh," because the thing that I
don't have a morning routine.
Let's
talk about more. Screw it. No, forget the other topic we're going to talk about. Let's talk. No, I want to talk about routines. Okay. I want to talk about that. Let's go. This is our new topic.
Everybody has a morning routine. Everybody does. Even you. Everybody. Mm-hmm. You have a routine, and what you don't have is this sacred, exemplary. Like, oh my God, I'm not doing that 10 minutes of meditation and then the what's such and such and then the breathing and then this and this and that. No, I actually pride myself in sharing my morning routine because it's, as a coach, it's kind of controversial. People would expect me to have this like really perfect, grandiose morning routine. And I don't. I'm like, I drag myself out of bed. Literally, I fight with my kids. I wish it was all perfect, but it's not, and I get going. Oh, and when I sit on the couch, I actually joke.
Yeah.
I joke that I actually sit there and think about the heavy burden of life on top of my shoulders, and how, like, oh God, I got to do this again. You know, there's some sarcasm and some irony and a little bit of heaviness that I have to get rid of in the morning, every morning. And that's okay. I have no problem with that. Like, people say, but shouldn't you be thinking affirmations and positive thoughts? I'm like, I got this. Me and God, we understand each other. I talk to him in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, God.
We're good.
We're good. This is it. I got no choice. Let's do it. Let's do it. But yeah, so I kind of pride myself in sharing that so people won't take themselves so seriously when it comes to morning routines. Or
you talk about routines, and routine's something that's been a big. I keep talking about how a big part of my routine has been missing for 6 months, and it's I've had to figure out how to do without that. So my martial arts practice, definitely part of my routine. Skateboarding, at least once a day, definitely part of my routine. Haven't been able to do any of those, and it's kind of like when you have a routine and it gets changed for you. Like, it's not your choice. It gets changed for you. There's a decision made that it needs to change, right? Like, that's an interesting place to hang out. It's absolutely it.
Yeah.
So I've been training for losing my routine, because the mental aspect of losing my routine has probably been harder than the physical aspect. Like, man, I think it depress a lot of people.
But here's an interesting perspective on it. There's two words here that we could explore, and it's routine and there's rituals. And a routine is something like brushing my teeth. Routine is how I make my coffee. There's routine, and then there's rituals. And rituals are things that reconnect me to my soul. Rituals are things that reconnect me to the source and to my mission. Prayer as a ritual, meditation as a ritual, going to the gym as a ritual, martial arts as a ritual, versus a routine like, I brush my teeth, I floss, I do this, I make my bed.
Yeah.
So there's it's worth making that distinction between one and the other. One is done unconsciously, and the other is made to be done consciously.
Yeah, like when you see me with my backyard all set up with my mat out and my, all my stuff, my ice bath and all that on Sundays. Sundays are very ritualistic for me on my back patio. I mean, my neighbors are used to me getting out various things, whether it's nunchucks or whatever. I'm sure they all think I'm nuts. But on Sundays, they know that more stuff comes out. They know that the blue thing's going to come out. They know they're going to hear a scream from Kevin. They're going to see some ice bags. And it's very ritualistic for me, even down to the point where I don't use a different towel. That sounds really messed up, but
it's a ritual.
I call these our COVID towels. It's a ritual. Yeah. So my family and I got these COVID towels during COVID. We were going to a resort, not a resort. I don't think there's resorts in Alabama and Orange Beach. We were going to a condo building there at the beach, and we thought maybe we needed our own towels. So we got these little microfiber packable travel towels, and I have an orange one, my favorite color. And every single time I have taken an ice bath at my house, which is every single Sunday, I use an orange towel.
Yeah.
If I have to use a different towel, I'm sure it's going to be just fine, but it's going to be different, and it's going to modify my ritual.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. It changes. But the other is, one thing I read about, let's say the word discipline also, being disciplined. I love this saying, discipline should not be punishment. So discipline should also be practices that connect you to your soul, practices that make you a better person. So they shouldn't become punishment. So there's routines, there's rituals, there's discipline, there's all these behaviors, some of them that we do unconscious and habitually, and some of those that we do so that we don't become completely unconscious and habitually. So there are certain things that I do to wake myself.
I think that's part of why. Yes, I think that's part of why I appreciate my ice bath, is because of that. People always ask me, you do it for the physical? Not really. Honestly, I'm doing it for the mental aspect because it sucks and I don't want to do it. That's why I do it. And because I need that discipline in my life, the consistency of doing something that I don't want to do at least once a week.
Yeah.
I don't know. Rituals, like other rituals, I even think about the way I go on walks. It's pretty much the same path every day.
You take walks every day.
It's ritual. I do. The past 6 months I have, because I haven't been able to do as many things as I want to, recovering from knee surgery. And so it was even funny. My wife went on a walk with me one time because we needed to talk. So we walked and talked. And I realized how much I stick to my ritual, because I even made her like cross the street at the same place that I always cross and all this. It was almost OCD-ish, It was like, no, here's where I go. No, it starts to cross over. No, we go over here. It was this really weird thing about me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ritualistic, if that's a practice, a routine, or if that's just brain damage.
Well,
probably all the above.
What comes up for me is everybody has ritual. Everybody has a routine. Everybody probably has a routine. Whether they wake up and they just go in the shower and then they go to the bathroom, then they get coffee and then they jump in the car. Whether it's unconscious and habitual, but everybody has like if you say, do you have a morning routine? Shit, what do you do every like is it so random for you?
Yeah, everybody
everything does. Different every day? No, they probably do everything routine like. Do we have ritualistic routines? Do we have rituals in that morning routine? So sitting with my coffee to meditate, those are my 15 minutes. That's ritualistic. Waking my kids up, turning off the air, making the coffee, sitting down, driving them to school, that's my routine. But those 20 minutes that I take and that I don't touch my phone for at least that hour or 45 minutes, that's ritualistic also because I'm consciously saying, don't grab your phone yet. Like, no, it's not time yet.
Good for you.
Take an hour. And I call it my first hour. That's the name that I gave that practice is my first hour. 1 hour without my phone. Go.
So where's your alarm clock?
It's on my phone, but it's on...
I just wanted to set you up because I knew it.
Well, no, but it's on...
Damn it.
It's airplane mode. So it's engaging with social media and opening my phone to requests and stuff like that. So my alarm goes off, I turn it off, and then I get my phone an hour later. Why do you do that to me, man? Why do you set me up that way?
Because sometimes you take pictures of me doing messed up things and put them on the internet on your stories.
I've never done that. But I get it. Yeah. But I don't engage with my phone. Well, like I don't get requests for the first hour. I don't see social media for the first hour. And after that, it's all hell breaks loose. After that hour, it's like social media all day.
I want to share my stuff. I'm going to share my routine for people because I think it is interesting to hear people's routines. So my morning routine, I wake up so my wake up time is determined by my children, 100%. Like it'll actually be interesting because Landon's going to be done with school in a week, and I'm like, well, am I going to keep my wake up time or am I going to sleep longer? Right? I'm probably going to keep it because it's already 7. So, and I kind of like, yeah. I mean, it's already kind of late. It's already kind of late, right? So I know I like my sleep. I get my 7 hours.
I don't judge you. I love it.
I do too. Oh, me too. So I wake up at 7. My son's already up, so I don't have to worry about that. He's at the age where he cares what he looks like in his hair, and he's got all sorts of. He's got his own little ritual. Let's put it that way. So he's up. If my daughter has something early in the morning, like a special club or whatever, I'll wake her up. If not, I'll just go ahead and shower and get ready and then go downstairs, drink my coffee. And then my son and I are out the door. And then we go and we're kind of one of the first 5, 6, 7 cars in line at school. And we play our pool game together. Typically, I'll pray for him right then and there. I'll put my hand on him and we'll pray together.
Oh, yeah? That's a ritual.
My whole family at that point.
That's a ritual.
Yep. It is. I'll say, is there anything that you feel like, you want Dad to pray about today for you, right? So that's kind of cool. And then we'll talk or, play some more games or whatever, right? And then I'll drop him off. I'll come to the office. And then I have another ritual. And this has been something that's been helpful for me I think I've had it for about 2.5 years. So I have a daily devotional book that's on my dash that is Daily for Men.
I remember that.
And I'll read that. I'll read that in my car. Yep. So I've gone through that like 2.5 times. It's getting pretty beat up. It's a ritual. And then I'll come into the work. And the way that I've structured my work life, 95% of the time, is that the first hour and a half is blocked out. I get here at a minimum of like 8:15 by the time my kiddos, or 8:05. First employee comes in at 9. So I at least have 55 minutes to myself. And I actually have blocked out on my calendar until I think 9:45, where I don't do meetings unless I absolutely have to. And so that's all designed to be able to get my rocks done. Like if I have something super, super important to get done from work perspective, I have the mindset to do it. Or if I want to, selfishly, that's my time. So I can create or I can do whatever I want.
Nice. But you did say something very important. That what is when the summer comes, I know when my kids are about to get out of school too, that's going to change my morning routine. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious what I'm going to choose to do. Right now I don't have much choice. I'm kind of doing the father routine. Now, when they graduate and go off to college, that's going to be life-changing. That's going to be, what's my routine
weird, won't it?
And my ritual going to be then? I'm probably going to have, I can see myself when that happens, going back to really having a more robust, ritualistic morning. Like I can see myself meditating, breathing, just being there, talking to God for hours. When my children are no longer with me here when they're off in college. So that's probably going to have a significant impact. The other thing I wanted to throw in there, just like a little bonus on sleep, something, you say you wake up at 7 and we were laughing about that. I wake up at 6. This isn't that hustle, wake up at 4:30 in the morning, have your, by 5 o'clock, you already got 2 workouts done. Yeah. So the funny thing is,
I'm never that guy. I did that.
No. Yeah. I just read or I saw that if you want to better your sleep, don't go to sleep earlier. Plan on waking up later. If you want to better your sleep quality, do it on the back end. Make it longer. So if you wake up at 5, start waking up at 6, because that added hour, that's when sleep is like its best quality. And so that was, to me, that was pretty fascinating. Most people, when they want to better their sleep, they're trying to go to sleep earlier, do something on the front end. And it's actually the other way around that's going to give you more benefit. So I think we've become wiser now.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah.
There you go. We're all wiser now. And that's a wrap. That's it. That was the point. No, I'm kidding. It's not a wrap. We're not done.
Somewhat.
We're not done.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
No, we're not.
What?
No, we're not. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about, I don't really want to talk about routines because you sucked the life out of them. You made them, you're like, it's like brushing your teeth and everything. So let's talk about rituals because that's way more fun. Because routines are like, oh man, now I think of breathing as a routine. I'm like, well, yeah, everything's a routine. So let's talk about rituals and the importance of rituals because that's where, frankly, when we start talking about VUCA Fit methodology, a lot of the things in there are ritualistic.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm. There are things that you consciously do, you do repetitively for the sake of something that's super, super important to you.
Yeah.
Self-improvement. That's pretty cool. And I've never really looked at you hear the word ritual sometimes, and sometimes you'll think of animal sacrifice,
human sacrifice, crazy, or something like that. Yeah.
Maybe Satan worshipers or something. And it's like, well, rituals are actually a lot of things.
Go to church. Church is ritualistic.
It is ritualistic. If church becomes routine, then if church becomes routine, then probably you're not doing it right.
It loses its spirit. But rituals to me are to reconnect you. Yeah. Yesterday, I went downstairs, got into my hammock, and I decided to do a few rounds of Wim Hof breathing with some really great music on. And by the time I was done, I was clear again that I'm just a soul having a human experience, that I am this divine being.
Hell yeah.
That's just completely wholesome and okay, and that God loves me, and that I'm just here to love everybody. Like, I felt complete. I was like, yeah, why do I forget this? Why? Because everything becomes a routine. Everything becomes habitual and unconscious. Smoking a cigar once in a while, that can be a ritual. Like, there's so many things that can bring us back to that connection with Source and with our soul and with God and the higher power. And again, we're here to fill the hole in the soul. So I think rituals are part of every day. And I like the 24-hour. Like, if I do a ritual today, it's just for today. Mm-hmm. That means I got to do something else tomorrow to remind myself. I got to remind myself every day, 24 hours.
Yep. Yeah, I think when I think about things like skateboarding is very ritualistic for me. Even like when I go to, while it's free for me, I don't know how you feel about how you feel about surfing, but for me, it's like, okay, when I hop on my board and I'm riding, I'm consciously engaged in an activity that first of all, it's physically, like for me, it's very, I've always said skating is very spiritual to me. I've always believed that. Even before I was a spiritual being, back when I was a kid, it's like this Zen unlocky thing that is just been, it's just been super important in my life. And so now when I go to a skate park, if I go to my son, we have a world-class skate park in Lee Summit, Missouri. It's awesome. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I have a very ritualistic approach to like when I go to the skate park even. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go try my ollie and see if I've still got my ollie, and then get a little warmed up, and then I'll, kind of start escalating a little bit the stuff I'm doing. I'm never doing anything too crazy at my age or whatever, but it's a very spiritual and there's a ritual associated with it. There's specific parts of the park that I will challenge myself on to see if I can get better at it. Right. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird to think about, but like my skateboarding, even when I'm skating here at the office, got a board here with soft wheels. I have a ritual. The people downtown Lee Summit know it. They'll see Kevin go do a hot lap around the block. They know, hey, Kevin's just got to blow off steam, do a hot lap, then come back and then sit back down and work.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
It is.
No, I don't know. Rituals can be a lot of different things, I guess.
Yes.
When you slow down and think about them.
So this whole volcano climbing thing.
Yeah. What's that? Is that a ritual by the time you've done it a couple times?
It's filled with rituals. It's a very interesting, I don't know. I got to dig more into what this experience is actually like, because it's got various elements to it. What is the deciding to go? And then it's preparation.
Right.
It's preparing. I love gathering the hydration. I love prepping the food. I love getting the gear out. I love getting it, feeling ready. And it's the same thing with surfing. Surfing, I surf with my younger nephew. He's 23, I think, 24. And he always forgets shit. Like, he always forgets, like, oh, I forgot the wax, or I forgot the leash, or I forgot this, I forgot that.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that used to happen to me. Now I have like this bag that I just got to pick it up. And I know that everything, the sunblocks and this, and everything is prepared. Everything is ritually laid out and prepared. So I feel more mature about how I'm approaching things.
Yeah.
Now, with the volcanoes, and this is interesting because somebody told me, I'm talking to a friend. He's actually like, oh, I could climb volcanoes. I could do it. Like, he sees my videos and everything. He's like, how hard can it be?
Yeah, no big deal. I can do that in my sleep.
I can do that. I'm like, okay, let's go. He's like, yeah, let's go. You told me when. You told me when. You know what I did? You know what I did to put him in his place? I said this. Climbing volcanoes isn't about me going to pick you up and taking you and like you tagging along with me. You tell me when you want to go. You tell me the day. You tell me the hour. You tell me when you want to go and you're ready to go, and I'll go with you. Because climbing a volcano doesn't just mean me taking you to the volcano and giving you the chance to climb it. Climbing the volcano starts by fucking...
You got to prepare.
You got to choose. You got to decide. You got to commit to, I'm going on Saturday, and not just, oh, Jose's taking me on Saturday, and let's see if I can do it. Like,
right.
And in the end, I was just like, so let me tell you something, buddy. The ball is in your court. You think you can climb a volcano? You tell me when. He already didn't do it. He's probably never going to tell me. So he already failed.
He's never going to climb the volcano.
He never climbed it. It wasn't the volcano. It was the whole ritual. It was the whole process.
Right.
It's like when you decide to bring all that stuff outside and somebody tells you, oh, I can do an ice bath. Go ahead. Do your ice bath.
Yeah.
Buy the container. Put it outside. fill it with water. Go carry the ice.
Figure out where to store it.
Figure
out where you're going to get your ice from when your ice machine gets sold. My ice machine got sold, Jose. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
You know, no, seriously, I shit you not. This sidebar. You familiar with Kwik Trip, the chain? Maybe you're not. Anyway, best convenience stores on the planet, okay? Kwik Trip was next door to this place called Squeaky Queen Car Wash, owned by a guy named Don. It's a place I've washed my car for the past, 13 years. Don has my phone number. I have Don's phone number. Don knows I wanted to buy his car wash, but I don't have as deep of pockets as Kwik Trip.
Sounds like
so Kwik Trip bought his car wash because they're gonna. I know. So Kwik Trip bought his car wash because they're gonna expand and build their newer, bigger generation ones on it. And he had the best ice machine. 20 pounds of ice for a while was $2. Then he moved it all the way up to $4. Right?
Freaking Don, man.
Now I've got to pay.
Is it Don?
What?
Don started charging more.
It's gone. The ice machine's. No. He sold the car wash to Kwik Trip, so now the ice machine's gone. The car wash is roped off, so now I got to go spend twice as much on ice at a Phillips 66.
But that's what it takes to do it.
And it messed with my routine.
But that's what it takes.
It messed with my routine, my ritual. I had to go find new ice source, man. Yeah. So you're right.
So if I were to take him, if I were to prepare everything for him and go pick him up and tell him I'm going to pass picking you up on Saturday, I'm going to take you to the right. That's like getting your child, sitting him on your lap and letting him steer the wheel. And then your child thinking, I can drive. See, I told you I can drive.
Right.
No, you can't drive.
Yeah, I agree.
Ball's in your court. Yeah. You want to climb a volcano? Tell me when. Pick me up. I'll go with you. You take me. You show me. I'll get the guide and everything, but I want to see you do everything that it actually requires. The coordination, the planning, the preparation, the committing, the scheduling. Dude, I checked the climate for Christ. Something I was about to say for Christ's sake. I checked the climate to see how everything's going to be. People don't understand that. There's a lot of ritual to it.
No, I know.
Yeah.
There is. Yeah.
It's a ritual.
So I think that's cool, man. I think
lifestyle. Ritualistic lifestyle of a skater, of a surfer, somebody of a VUCA Fit training, the whole VUCA Fit method. It should be considered a ritualistic lifestyle. That's what it should be considered. Not a method.
It is.
A ritual.
Yeah. No, you're right. And it is. And it's funny that we've never really thought about it that way. But all my practices that I do. So think about this. So my practices that help me become VUCA Fit. Reading my personal development plan. Reading my codex. Doing my ice bath on Sundays. Praying. Spending time in God's word. All of these things are rituals. They're not routines. As a matter of fact, the default position on most of them would be just not to do it. It'd be way easier for me to hop in and just start working. It would be way easier for me to say, no, I'm not going to take an ice bath on Sunday. I'm just going to do whatever I want to do, right? So they're all very ritualistic. And I think that's part of what I just realized saying this out loud, Jose, as to why I'm on this journey with you. I know that sounds weird, but the whole ritualistic aspect, I've responded very well to those types of activities in my life. And I think there's a subset of people that just respond well to that. Like that's what they need to live their untapped, die empty life. And so thanks for throwing some rituals in my life, dude.
Oh, you're welcome. But could you imagine people who have no rituals? It's all routine. It's all unconscious. It's all habitual.
I think that's the equivalent of sleeping through life, probably. Like when you talk about people who are just going through life and you hear about it, it's unintentional. Just, I think that you're the Matrix, the people who are plugged in versus unplugged, Yeah.
Rituals keep on reminding.
I think rituals help us be unplugged from the Matrix. Like they help you connect with your core with something that you can't tap into elsewhere.
Yeah. Would love for some people who listen to us tell us about their rituals afterwards. That would be pretty cool.
Dude, that'd be dope. I'd love more reviews because the one I'm going to read this week is terrible. You ready?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we got another review. You ready?
Negative review? Don't read me a negative.
It's five.
Don't read me a negative review.
No, it says it's 5 stars and it says life-changing. You ready?
Go.
Jose helped me improve the trajectory of what was already an awesome life. I decided to launch this show with him so more people could receive his messages and teachings. The real KO. So we're up to 3 reviews, and I know all of them because
you're one of them.
We got Adam, we got Brad, and myself.
Who do we have?
Dale Oldham, my dad. We've got 3. Now, my dad tried to leave a review on Spotify. He's tried multiple times. It wouldn't stick. He even sent me a screenshot of it.
Okay.
So Dale Oldham did try to leave us a review. If you try to leave a review and it doesn't work on, just leave a review on Apple. Nothing else really matters.
There you go.
Oh, man, that was terrible. So I'm going to read his. His says, just as I was getting ready to leave a review, you asked me to. Very simple. You, and specifically this episode, make me and your mom proud. Jose's pretty good, in quotes, too. But we can't take any credit there. And then he said, now his note to me says, well, I tried. Not for the first time. Send button won't light up. Fuckery reigns.
VUCA fucked. VUCA fucked.
VUCA fucked.
All right, man.
Time to land this.
Yeah.
Pod's over. All in, all done.
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good.
Appreciate you, listeners. You know what to do. Subscribe, leave reviews, let us know you're out there. Otherwise, you're going to be a blank statistic on a chart that I obsess over every single week to make sure somebody's listening. We hope that the show is meaningful to you. And if not, thanks for wasting the past 38 minutes and 20 seconds with us. Till next week, I'm Kevin. He's Jose. We're Hole in the Soul. Have a phenomenal week. Be well.